Seneca once asked, "You want to live, but do you know how to live? You're scared of dying, and tell me, is the kind of life that you lead really any different from being dead?" This is what Ernest Becker calls the denial of death. It's this internal struggle that we all face when we try to come to terms with the fact that we're all in this people mover to death. That a few days or weeks or months or years from now, we'll all be rotting 6 feet underground. Becker calls this, we're the gods with anuses, as he so beautifully says. And so ironically, it is this fear of dying that keeps us from fully living. It's these generalized fears of being ostracized, of standing out, of being kicked out of the tribe that keep us from fully engaging with life. It's the reason we're afraid to dance at parties. We're scared to approach the stranger we want to meet. Or we're playing it small in business rather than charging forward. And so we shrink away and we shy away from real responsibility, real progress, real growth, and real bliss and rapture precisely because we're afraid of living life this close, of experiencing the intensity of life this close to our faces. We're scared of jumping into the abyss without a parachute because we don't know that underneath us there is a feather bed, as Jason Silva likes to say. And so what we forget then is another quote by Seneca who said, it is not how long the acting lasts, but rather how well it goes, how well you do it that really matters. It doesn't matter how long that life is. It doesn't matter so much how many breaths you take, but what really matters is how many moments take away your breath. How often you experience this exhilarating joy and beauty and intensity of life lived this close. That's really, at the end of the day, what marks the character of a great day and therefore a great life. And so I invite you to become an engineer of rapture and bliss. A bliss junkie, if you so will. Not by chasing external substances, not by, alcohol and drugs and junk food and social media and movies, but rather by engineering moments of joy and bliss into your life. And so how do we do that? How do we actually create a daily life, a daily structure, a ritual, a routine that allows us to engineer these moments on a consistent basis? Well, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, the world-renowned researcher and creator behind flow, this state of optimal human consciousness, what he has said is, flow, bliss, rapture, and growth, they don't just happen by accident. They don't just happen in these passive and relaxing times when you're sitting on the couch eating junk food. No. Flow and bliss and rapture happen and occur exactly when you're in that process of striving for more, when you're trying to break away from the shackles of your limited potential at the moment, breaking free from that in order to stretch your current comfort zone. Specifically, what he has found is 4% is what is needed. 4%, not 100, not 500 like many people say, but 4% harder than your current edge of your capabilities. If you can just go a tiny little bit above and beyond what you currently feel comfortable with, right? To the point where your palms start sweating, your heart starts beating faster, right? You might tremble in your knees, right? Ironically, it's that nervousness, that little feeling of excitement and anxiety and nervous shaking that makes you feel alive. And so the best moments of my life have come from this. I remember last month, I went to the first party of my life that I actually enjoyed. So usually I hate parties because I don't drink, right? And so usually I'm just standing in a corner kind of waiting for it to be over and for me and my friends to go. But this time I went with a couple of friends, right? And it was this outdoor beach party. And usually I just stand in the corner, but this time we decided, and none of us drink alcohol, but we decided to go more crazy than anybody else, right? We jumped on stage and we danced the life away. We stripped ourselves naked in front of our inadequacies, metaphorically just. We stripped ourselves metaphorically naked, right? We danced, even though we don't have any skills. We faced our inadequacies of the limited moves we had and decided to live life this close with full intensity, full acceleration. And it was one of the greatest moments of my life. And so challenging yourself to step outside of the boundaries of what is currently known to you is one of the greatest ways in which you can engineer these moments of rapture. Another one, what do? We engineer moments of beauty. One of my favorite practices in the world is getting up early and going outside to see the sun rise early in the morning. To see that glowing ball of fire rise into the sky and illuminate everything around me while I am doing my workout, while I'm meditating, reading my favorite book, or while I'm just reflecting on how exactly I want my day to unfold. It's one of the most beautiful things that I've found in my life. Same for sunsets, right? Seeing that ball of fire go down again, slowly reflecting on the passage of time, on how we've lived today and what we've conquered and what we've learned and how we've grown and how we intend to make the next day even better. Another third idea is connection. One of my favorite moments in the world is just deeply connecting with friends, of letting all, insecurities, all doubts, throwing them out of the window and just connecting with true authenticity, vulnerability, honesty. When two souls collide in an effort to just make each other better, that's when true magic happens. And so challenges, beauty, connection are three of the greatest ways in which you and I can engineer flow and bliss and rapture into our lives on a daily basis. And I want to invite you to become this engineer of bliss, to become an engineer of your own happiness and your own fulfillment on a daily basis, because waiting for tomorrow doesn't make any sense. Because again, we don't know when we're going to die. We're all gods with anuses. We're all gonna slumber 6 feet underground one day. And so I invite you today to ask yourself, challenge, beauty, connection, how am I gonna engineer bliss into my life? Love you guys and see you soon.